We're live.
We're live.
Yeah. We always do this. This is our bumbling, right, our bumbling moment.
Yeah.
Okay. Yay! It's Member Make.
Yeah. It's Friday.
I just called it Members Make.
Members Make. Yeah.
On Instagram. Oh well. It's Friday. Thank you. It's Friday. So we're going to make these absolutely gorgeous flowers, you guys. I think we have about a minute, so we're going to wait for a few more people to come in. So shout out where you're from.
Mm-hmm.
Anna is going to put questions up for us. So if you have a question, make the big Q and then write out your question, and she'll pop those up for us to read.
Mm-hmm.
So what else? Is there something else I'm forgetting that we need to talk about? Oh, let's throw this one out here in the front, since I forgot to in last time. If you guys are not signed up to our email list,
Yes.
we are having to rebuild it because it got deleted. So if you haven't signed up for our email list, make sure and do that. I know that you'll want to hear all of our updates and hear times when we're doing these lives. I'm going to be doing a few extra lives this month. I know I have, or in the next few weeks. So make sure and get back on that email list so you can know what's going on. Anything else? We didn't even talk about a giveaway, but we will do a giveaway.
Oh yeah, we didn't.
We'll do a giveaway. We're with it. We'll do a giveaway today as well. So let's make up a question. Let's see, it's July. Let's see, our question is, what is your favorite kids craft that you did when you were a child?
There you go.
Yeah.
That's a great one.
Yeah. So go ahead and answer that question. We'll pick a winner at the end, and we will send you all the supplies for next month's Member Make. And you guys stick around because we're going to show you a sneak peek of what next month's Member Make is.
Yeah.
Which,
if you're listening in the last video, you know what it is.
You'll know what it is.
But you haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
So.
And it is gorgeous. It's the best one I've ever seen. I'm telling you, this girl, she keeps knocking up the bar. But I'm telling you, what she comes up with is always really easy to do. It's just learning the techniques. It looks like a lot, yes,
but it's easier than it looks, I guess, which is the nice thing about it.
And she's also a really good teacher. Yep. So even a beginner can make these really gorgeous flowers. Are we ready? Should we get going?
Yeah.
Okay. So remember, throw up your questions. We'll answer them. I'll be watching for them as Megan teaches us how to make these gorgeous African daisies.
Yeah. So the first thing I do want to say is we had a lot of questions pre this Member Make asking what colors to use. And I didn't list the colors because they come in so many different colors, and you can be super creative with this flower. There's the centers can be multiple colors. They're just a rainbow. And I'd recommend just looking up African daisies, do a nice Google search, and just pull up some inspiration. That's what I do when I'm creating these flowers, and you can mimic their centers with how I show you. How I'm teaching you.
But there's so many different colors you can use. So I love it. I love it that they're kind of a rainbow flower. And here's what you have used for this set.
Yes. So these are all the crepe paper colors I use. I do have a list. I did write down the colors I used in the materials. So we used cypress, fern, and then our double-sided green.
Oh, here. Throw
and
it
so
up here
these are the greens I used.
Oh, either way. Which way do you want to go? Ready?
Okay. No, this is good. Yeah, so we use cypress and fern for the flowers, and we use the double-sided green for the leaves.
Okay.
And then for the flowers, we used a variety of colors. For the petals, we used blush, mango.
Mango?
Nope.
Oh, mango. Okay.
Yep. And this purple. I don't know the differences between the purples. Aubergine.
Aubergine. Okay.
Yeah. And then the rest of the colors we have here I used for the centers. So I used fern for the centers, the chiffon.
Chiffon.
Yep. And then the merlot and raspberry.
The merlot and the raspberry.
Yep.
That's the raspberry.
That's the raspberry.
This is the aubergine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just going in the order that I heard it down with.
I know. We have too many colors, guys, but we always want.
We don't have too many colors.
We don't have too many. We want more colors.
But
which reminds me, I'm going to just let these guys know we have ordered, and it is almost on the water to be shipped over from Germany. All of our single folds.
Yeah.
All the colors will be in a single fold. So pretty exciting.
Yeah.
All right. Shall we get going?
Yeah. let's go. So we're going to start off with making the centers. So you're going to take, let's see, I'm going to look at my template here because I have labeled the center so you can, since there's multiple different stamen pieces.
What? I'm showing him the template.
Oh, I have it right here. It just is very bright, so I don't know if they can see it. So yeah, we have a bunch of different stamen pieces. We're going to start out with our stamen B1, which is going to be the longer, thicker piece. And you have 2 of those.
Stamen B1 2X. Yep. Okay.
And then we have our stamen B2, which go along with our
And yours are in plum and mine are in green. So isn't that perfect? Okay. So B1 and then the B2
are the skinny ones. Okay. And so we're going to take our tacky glue. I only have one of these right now.
I have one.
Okay. And we're going to just apply glue to the top edge of the B1 stamen. Yes.
Okay, I don't know.
We'll move this up. That's okay. It doesn't take long.
Okay.
We can share. All right. And then we're going to take our stamen B2, the skinny one, and we're going to go ahead and glue that right at the top. And you want to make sure, go ahead and flip that over. You want about just a fingernail bit showing at the top. And I'll bring this closer so you can see. It might be a little easier to see with Leah's colors. Well, yeah.
So I'm right in half or right? No.
Nope. Okay. You're doing it just right so that just barely a bit shows.
Gotcha.
Up the top. We're going to press that down and I'll bring that up and show you. If you can see that it's just barely, I know the color on this one is not, there isn't a lot of contrast. All right, and then we're going to flip that over. And I'm going to go ahead and fold the thicker stamen in half over the thin bit.
Okay, you can show them this one.
Ah, yeah. So we're actually going to even push this down even further. I'm going to sit here and correct yours.
Would you do that for me, please?
We just want barely. And if you do more showing, you can always go over and just trim it. Cut it a little shorter.
So
if that's easier for you.
This is the pollen.
Yeah, this is going to look like pollen. So if you want to see this piece, it's maybe a little easier to see. There you go.
Thank you.
And then what we're doing, we're going to fold the larger bit up over so that it's even with the other side.
Oh, so look at that. Okay. Okay.
Sticking up. We've used this technique on a few other flowers before. It's a great technique for doing pollen if you only want to use crepe paper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you can get a lot of it really quick.
We have a quick question.
Yeah.
It says, Carol is asking, will we be able to get the single folds on Amazon here in the UK?
No, the only place that's selling single folds will be leahgriffith.com and our shop where, our shop of which will have a new name soon. But we do ship international. And I know Virginia was on the phone the other day talking with UPS on getting better pricing for international shopping. So we'll cross our fingers on that. Yes, we're the only ones that will carry it for now. Yeah. Also, I wanted to point out the glue you're using. Mm-hmm. So you're using the Tacky Fast Original.
Oh, I'm using the original.
Okay. So we really like Aline's.
Yeah, I like the original is great, and I like the Fast Grab because it's a little thicker. The Quick Dry isn't my favorite just because it's thin. Mm-hmm. But yeah. All right, and once you've folded your piece in half, you can go ahead and glue that down. And then we're going to set these aside and work on our other stamen piece and let these dry for a little bit before we fringe them. We don't want them too soggy.
And don't use too much glue.
Yeah, definitely only use a little bit. You really don't need much.
Yeah.
And a tip for these is we're going to fringe these in a little bit. I would not let the glue dry fully before fringing because it'll make it much harder to fringe because you're going to be cutting through
The glue.
dried
right.
glue, and this glue dries hard.
Yeah. And the thing I'm noticing, the glue is pretty thick, so it makes it harder to get a thinner layer. So
Yeah, you can kind of spread it with your finger.
Spread it. Mhm. We need some music.
Right.
I know.
Or a glass of wine. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, right?
It's like it's a little early, but
It's only 11, but it's Friday.
I guess on the East Coast it's
Yes.
late enough.
And it's Friday.
It is Friday. All right.
We do have a question.
Yeah.
So Christine is asking, will the recommended color combinations be posted later?
Would you guys like that?
I think that's a good
I can
idea.
do that.
Yeah. Just tell everybody what each flower combo is. I think that would be a nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I know, especially when you're a beginner, you might want some, and then
some more. Yeah.
And then you feel like, oh, I get this. I can do it.
Yeah, I can post I can separate them by center colors and petal colors or something.
Okay.
So at least,
Yeah.
Or
we can even have a picture with numbers on it, and you can number 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
You could number them out.
Carol says that she's going to have a glass of wine for you.
Oh, would you do that?
Oh, perfect.
Thank you, Carol. Well, and also, Carol, I'm doing a 1-month reboot, so I can't have a glass of wine for 3 more weeks. Why do we do this to ourselves? I don't know, but I'm actually enjoying it. But thank you. Please have 2 glasses.
So now we're going to take our stamen A, so it's the shorter fat piece, and we're just going to fold that in half, long ways. Short ways? I always get confused when I'm telling people which way to fold it. Against the grain.
Against the grain. There we go.
That always makes sense. Yeah.
I think I love doing these member makes Megan, because it's fun to be the student and not the teacher all the time. And you're such a good teacher.
All right. Thank you.
And Megan, you're getting compliments about your nails.
Oh, thank you. They're very long right now.
COVID nails.
They are COVID nails. I was just like, why? Just let them go.
I know.
I was debating cutting them because I was like, is it harder for me to craft? But I've actually decided it's easier because I can pick things off the Cricut mat.
Oh,
so easy. I can flick them up,
right,
and peel them off so much easier.
There you go. Your new favorite Cricut tool or cutting machine tool. Your nails.
My nails.
I know. All
right.
Mine are just awful. Okay.
So once we fold it in half, we're gonna fringe along the folded line. So you're gonna take your detail scissors, and I like to fold mine in half so that I'm doubling up on the fringing, so it doesn't take as long.
That's so smart.
Yeah.
I'm just doing a single.
There you
I'm
go.
not so smart.
And we'll fringe. And you're going to fringe a little more than halfway down.
I was saying earlier that one of the reasons why I love these flowers, especially for our celestial month, is that the centers of them look like little
night skies.
Little night skies because of the little stars. I don't know if you can zoom this. Let's see if we can show them. Okay, like this one right here.
Yeah.
That
so we use some
one.
paint to get those little
dots.
Yep. All right, so once we've fringed this, we're going to go ahead and glue it onto one of our thick stem wires. So your stem wire has a thin end and a thick end, and I always like to put the flower heads on the thinner end.
Mm-hmm.
So so for these flowers, I actually used tacky glue for the centers, but for the purpose of this video, I'm going to use hot glue just because it'll dry much faster. If you're using tacky glue for the centers and you're making multiple flowers, I would make all of the centers, let them sit for like 15, 20 minutes. Tacky glue does dry pretty quick, so you aren't going to be waiting hours. But
we don't have 15.
I don't have 15 or 20 minutes to. I don't think you want to sit here and watch glue dry for 15 minutes. So we're going to use hot glue.
No, I'm kidding.
And I'm just going to do a little bit at a time. Oh, let's see. Get my glue to come out.
We do have a couple of questions when you have a moment.
Go for it.
Go ahead.
Okay, cool. So there's one question. You cut against the crease of the folded piece, right?
Correct. Yes, you're going to cut against the fold on fringing this.
And along the grain. Yep.
Yes, with the grain.
And then Janet says, do you carry the thick stems?
Not yet.
We are trying.
We say that all the
I
time.
know.
No, seriously, you guys, we are trying. We're getting closer. So I know. Can you hear the big sigh?
I know. It's a bummer. There are places, we should like share a link for where they can buy it. If Anna can throw one up there.
Anna,
If she can find it.
Yeah, Anna, can you throw up a link for the thick stems?
I know you can find them on Etsy. Amazon has them, but it's a little inconsistent whether they're in stock or not. But I know there are people on Etsy that do have them. They might just take a little while to get to you because I believe they come from Thailand.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And sometimes the shipping's a little hefty from Thailand, so.
Yeah. But if you can get a lot of them at once, that's okay. All right. So after you've done this, you're going to fluff it out a little.
So pretty.
Yeah. All right. And we're going to go ahead and set this aside. And we are going to finish up our other stamen pieces. And we're going to go ahead and fringe these. And we're going to fringe these not on the fold, where the bit of crepe is sticking out.
So the pollen.
Where the pollen is sticking out. There you go. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to fold mine in half so that I can, because we got to fringe. Yeah. Speed fringe. I'm actually going to cut off my hand. There we go.
So things like these, you really do want to cut by hand, but these little pieces here, which are also part of the insides, I'm telling you, this is cutting machine heaven right here.
Oh, yeah. That is like amazing. Yeah, the inner petals, I think is what I called them. They, cut amazingly on a cutting machine. And that is something I would never want to cut by hand.
Right. And a cutting machine with the rotary blade.
Yes.
Just to be clear.
How fun is it watching us fringe?
I know, right? Any questions? Now's the time for questions.
No other questions yet, but Anna has put the link on here.
Perfect.
So I want to know how many people have already made your flowers. I know last month a lot of people
hopped in. We had a lot of people that made in advance since we have the tutorial up now.
Have any of you made these flowers yet?
I'm curious, along with that, how many people actually craft along with the videos? Because I have people ask sometimes what all they need to prep before the video, and it kind of amazes me that people craft along with us, because I've tried. So when Leah was showing how to make the face mask, I tried to sew along with her while she was doing it, and it was so hard.
Right?
Yeah, I had to I couldn't do it real time. I had to pause.
I don't have COVID, don't worry.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so I'm curious how many people actually craft along with us.
We do have a quick question, but we also have a statement about that as well. So let's see. Question is there a special way to cut the thick stems? They're very long.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, use your wire cutters. definitely. And then I would also, where you cut it, put a little bit of tacky glue because the paper that's wrapped around it will start to unravel.
And also, don't use your scissors to cut them.
Yeah, don't
ruin your scissors. Yeah,
wire cutters.
You can use these wire cutters. You can also get a heftier pair if you feel like you need to cut a lot of them. They'll pop through a little bit quicker.
Yeah, and a lot of people are responding to your questions. I'm just going to pop them up here really quick.
Yeah.
But they're pre-cut the pieces yesterday. I'm trying to keep up. Crafting along, Kimberly says. And Jen Kim, thank you for having a photo tutorial right at the beginning of the month for those who cannot wait.
Well, as long as you still join us, no problem.
Yeah.
We just want you guys to come and have fun with us.
A few other people are making them along. Others have tried others, and it's hard.
I would have a really hard time.
Yeah.
So we do have a question, and it is from Elaine. Is there a video on your site for you using Cricut to cut crepe?
Yes, we do have one. It's old. We're actually redoing. We're doing a full course on making crepe paper flowers that's coming out here soon, and I'll go into detail on how to cut crepe paper because we've learned a lot since then.
Oh yeah.
So the old video is still relevant, I think, but I think we've learned a few more tricks.
Yeah.
Because there are some definite tips on cutting crepe paper.
Yeah.
Also, if you are new to our site, go check out one of our newer videos on how to upload SVG cuts into your Cricut machine, because that touches a little bit on the placement and just a few tips on crepe paper. So make sure and go watch that as well. Yes, but thank you. I like hearing that because I feel like when you guys ask questions like that, it informs us on what videos we should be creating for you. So thank you so much. Any other questions?
Nope, but she says thanks.
Yes.
All right, now we're gonna go ahead and glue this around our center, and I'm gonna glue it so that the pollen is sticking up above the first stamen piece. So I don't know. Again,
We should
the
have traded
contrast.
colors, huh?
I know the contrast on this is not.
Do you want to do?
Amazing.
Do you want to do this one? As long as you don't make fun of my.
What?
See, the thing is that you made how many of these, and this is my first one. I think that the first one always looks a little rougher than the last one when I'm making multiple flowers.
No, for sure. You want to switch to that. There we go. So here you can see, well, maybe. There you go. Just have it so it's a bit above the center stamen piece.
Okay.
Here. All right. Oh, and I'm going to use hot glue. Again, in these flowers, I did use tacky glue for the center just because I like how tight everything stays. But I'm going to go with the hot glue.
Tacky glue adds a little bit of bulk.
You mean hot glue?
I meant hot glue adds a little bulk.
Yeah.
Because it is thicker. Okay. Now's a good time for more questions.
Yeah.
There is, let's see. Carol is stating, I would love a video on petal placement, especially for roses. Mine always end up very open.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's great. I'll put that on the list. I love hearing this, you guys. Like, where are you struggling?
See, and I messed up, so here I am.
What? You messed up?
So you want to keep your stamen even, the tops of them even as you're wrapping. And I just noticed as I was wrapping, they were getting lower and lower. So
you want to stack it right on top.
That's the other thing I don't like about hot glue. It's a little harder when you mess up to go back. Luckily, mine was still a little sticky, so I was able to pull it off real quick.
You don't have to use hot glue. You can use low temp on this too.
Yes.
We just happen to have our hots.
Those are just the ones we had.
My glue stick is
not feeding. Neither is
really.
mine. I keep having to push it with my chin. All right.
Yes.
And then we're gonna take, since there's two of these, we're gonna go and keep adding our second piece. Yeah.
Let's see. There is a question. Kimberly's asking, are we stretching the crepe paper at all at this point?
Not really. No, you're just wrapping it. With the glue on it, it's not going to stretch much.
Especially if it's dry.
Yeah, especially if your glue is dry. You don't need to stretch this because you want it to be really dense when it's
Right.
wrapped.
And I think if you stretch it, you're going to need more.
Yeah.
You're going to have to wrap to get the size.
Yeah.
That was a good question too. Yeah.
So once we've completed this, we're going to go ahead and just fluff it out a little bit. And I know on camera this is hard to see, but I used a lighter color purple for the pollen bits, and so that it just adds nice depth to the center. You can see a little bit there. All right, and we're gonna set this aside, and we're gonna start on our petals, which I guess I'll use hot glue for those as well.
Either way.
All right, so we're gonna take our inner petal pieces, and it's just one line. Now these, we are going to stretch this as we wrap. And we're gonna stretch in a way that so as you wrap, when you go to wrap around the second time, that second layer of petals lies between each petal.
Okay.
So I'll do it slowly, especially when I get to the second bit. I'm actually gonna apply hot glue to this because I think it's gonna be a little easier. And all right. All right. So I'm gonna glue this a little bit higher than the bottom edge of my stamen, so it sticks up about that much. We're gonna start wrapping. I lost one of my little petals, so I might have a gap, but we'll see. All right, and we're gonna wrap. And the first wrap around, I'm just very lightly stretching. It's gonna be a little more stretching on your second wrap around, just to get them. So on that first wrap, you can see I made it so that they're all pretty evenly spaced. I do have a gap here because I lost one of my petals.
Yeah, I
got ripped off.
I think this would be a really, maybe you could pull one off then. I think this is a really, really good place to use the tacky glue because then you can adjust them.
Then you can adjust them. True.
So that you can make sure they're all
so
spaced evenly.
With the hot glue, I'm just doing a little bit at a time. Like,
the other thing I'm noticing, the way that the cutting machine cut these, they almost, the petals are just hanging on by a thread.
They are, yeah. It's that little, the rotary blade does overcut slightly on really sharp corners.
Maybe we could make the pattern a U rather than
floating. I got
glue strings happen.
Yeah.
We do have a couple questions. So Maureen is asking, do you know of a low temp glue gun with a fine point?
No, we keep asking them for one. Maybe we can kind of bug them a little bit more, but that's partly why we end up using the hot glue, the hot more so.
Actually,
although it's funny, this one doesn't have a fine point on it.
I know it doesn't. That one came from my house.
Oh really? Did you burn it off?
That was just the one I had. Maybe.
Okay.
It might have just fallen off.
That one has it. This one doesn't. This may be an older model.
I think that's just an older one because it's like rounded. If this would have.
So this is not my favorite.
Yeah, it's not as.
Again, if you can stand the hot, then the fine point works really well.
Yeah.
There is one more question. So Jen Kim is asking, which color are you using now for the inner petals?
Leah is using blush, and I am using raspberry.
Yes. That's raspberry.
Raspberry. And so with the inner petals for these, I use the same color crepe paper for the inner petals as I did for the outer petals. the real petals.
Okay.
And then you'll see we're going to go and customize these flowers with pan pastel after they're completed. And yeah, I'll show you why we chose to do that when we get there.
Okay, I am ready.
And
Yeah.
one comment, just for Leah.
Mhm.
Leah's hair always looks so nice on the straight hair look.
Oh,
there you go.
thank you. It's so funny, you guys. It's we were laughing, or actually not we. My team was laughing about all the hairstyles of Leah. We can tell.
Oh yeah,
what
when it
era.
was.
Because I keep flipping around, but this is COVID hair. It just,
This is COVID hair.
but I think I like it long. I think
like
that
it.
it's time to go long again. Thank you.
And then there is one question that popped up also. Have you used Yes paste? I'm finding I love it. I think that's the brand.
Oh.
We had a maker that used to use Yes Paste
Uh-huh.
a lot. And I haven't personally used it, but I think a lot of people do like it because you use it with a paintbrush and it
Mhm.
lasts a really long time because it
Yep.
comes in a big tub and you can just kind of add water to your paintbrush and use it.
Mhm.
I haven't really used it. We have so much, mostly because we just have tacky glue.
Yeah.
That's just what we have,
Mhm.
and we have a lot of it.
And we like
I like
it.
it.
Yeah.
So, but I know Yes Paste does work really well.
Yes. So
Yes.
yes. I am so ready for the next step.
Yeah, we're going to do petals. And so we're going to put these petals on. You should have 24 petals. And we're going to do them in layers of 6. So I'm trying to remember how I placed these.
So 24 divided by 6.
So there should be 4 layers.
4 layers.
Yeah. But I had a method and I'll try and show you.
Okay. I'm going to watch
I
you first.
can. I have to remember. All right. So I'm going to place 1 and I'm going to glue the base even with the base of my middle petals.
Oh, I know. I go.
I'm going to do
Cross.
3.
Oh, okay.
3.
I like that better.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I'm going to place 3 first.
So triangle.
Or wait, do I do cross? I'm going to sit here and think about this for a second because it's been a month since I made these.
Sometimes I do cross.
Sometimes I do 3.
and then- or you can do triangle.
Oh, you know what? I do cross, and then I do 2, 2.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I.
Whatever works best for you guys.
Just get them 6 petals around evenly.
Yes.
And I would not recommend doing one and placing one right next to the other because then it'll be uneven.
Right. So
Unless you-
interesting when you peel these off the cutting mat, if you are using the cutting machine, they kind of give a curl.
Yeah.
So when you glue them on, let the curl.
Let the curl go.
Just
out.
rather than up and in, it should go out.
Yeah. And once the petals are on, we'll use a curling tool to kind of give them a little more shape. But
Right.
we're going to wait till the very
And
end.
if you
to
don't do it that way, it's fine because you can always curl.
Yeah. Yep.
Megan, I think it's time that we do another crepe paper flower book, maybe in advance.
Yeah. We got lock ourselves in a room for how long? 2 weeks?
Yeah, it took me 2
2
weeks to make the flowers. Maybe we should take requests on what flowers should be in the
Yeah.
book.
Obviously the hydrangea.
The new, oh,
I just said that and I was like, wait.
Oh. obviously
Just
the
'cause-
flower that we're going to be teaching you next month needs to be in the book because
Yes.
I think this one too. I
Yeah.
love this flower.
This is pretty. I
Oh,
love
and we
this
have
one
to
'cause
do
of
the
how you color.
gladiolus.
And the gladiolus. Yeah, we
Yeah.
probably have enough new flowers at this point.
Yeah, a lot of people are liking your new book idea.
Well, I'm the type of person, I don't know about you guys. It's like if I have everything online, but
Mhm.
there's a book to go with it, I want the book too, because I want both. I love the tactile of having
Mhm.
books. So I know, I'm sure
Same.
Anna is rolling her eyes.
Probably.
Sorry, Anna.
All right, so I've put 6 petals around evenly.
It's just a lot of work. Books are a lot of work.
And so now I should have like 18 petals left. So I'm actually going to put my petals in piles of 6 because I end up losing track at one point.
And then you end up with
5,
a-
6, and I'm like, where does this petal go? 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6. Okay. I've got 3 more piles of 6 petals.
So what's your next?
So my next one, when I place them, I'm going to place it slightly under So when I'm looking at it, it's to the left of a petal.
But not completely in between.
No, I'm not going to put it exactly in between. It's going to be slightly under the petal on the left-hand side.
And you have to think
Just
there's
keep-
2 more petals that go in between.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah. And all you have to do, you could do it on the right side of the petal. It doesn't matter. Just be consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Also, I'll have you know that hot glue, eventually it doesn't burn your fingers anymore.
Because you get calluses?
I don't feel like I have calluses on my fingers, but it honestly just doesn't
Really?
hurt as much
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah. I remember when I used to make paper dresses
Mm-hmm.
and I would have bandages on all of my
no.
fingers from all the hot glue gun burns. It was almost funny.
Yeah.
Take one for the team. So normally would you do this with the tacky?
Yeah, I did this with the tacky, and then I just like tacky glue.
I know you do. Yeah.
So I did this with tacky, and then I actually hung them upside down while they dried.
That's a great idea.
So that
What a great tip.
So that the petals
Wouldn't fall.
wouldn't fall. And so I actually hang them like this. I bend the tip of this and just put it on the edge of the table.
Maybe put a book on it.
Maybe put a book or a piece of tape over it.
Yeah.
I have 2 tables squished together, so I put them between the 2
Nice.
tables and hung them.
See, this is a tip that we need in the next book.
Just
Working with tacky glue.
weird little things. And I hang them from the edge of the table because you can't really hang it on a wall because then you're squishing the
So
petals.
Right.
a comment here. Vicky says, I have found your book and videos use different methods.
Yes, this
Yeah.
is true. Partly because we always learn.
We're constantly
Eh,
learning
yeah.
new techniques.
And yeah, we're constantly learning techniques. And honestly, they're both good, but one you might prefer over the other. So I don't know. I think even you
Yeah.
and I, sometimes
Yeah,
you have
we
a different
have-
technique than I have. And
Yeah.
does that bother you? Ask her if it bothers her. Does it confuse you?
All right, so I've got my second layer of 6 petals on. So now with my third layer, I'm going to place the petal just on the other side of the petal that I previously glued to.
There was a question. Oh, sorry.
Mhm.
you were-
No, you're good.
Laura is asking, how about a lesson on making, I don't know how to say this word, bromeliads? Do you know that word?
Spell it for me.
Bromeliads. Is that a flower?
Laura, can you tell us what that is?
It sounds really familiar, but I also do not know what you're talking about.
Yeah. What is that? I want to know what that is.
I love it.
Is she going to tell us?
Maybe it is.
Oh, see, and I lost
And
track.
Vicky
I
says
keep-
it makes it even better when you have different tips. So she likes that you have.
Okay, good. I don't want to confuse people, but I think that when we learn a new technique, or maybe we have an aha moment of, oh, wait, if we do it
Yeah.
this way, we definitely want to share it with you guys.
There are definitely projects where I'm making them and I think the way I'm making it is amazing, and then I get to the end and I'm like,
Why did I do it that
why?
way? Yeah.
Or I'll start over if I have to.
Yeah, that kind of reminds me of, when we were doing that live video the other day and we were talking about the crepe paper the made in China crepe paper
Mhm.
that Michael's and Joanne's is selling, and how the people who are bringing this to market have never made crepe paper flowers, so they don't
Yeah.
understand it.
They don't know why it's not
Why it
the
doesn't,
best.
right. They think, oh, it's just crepe paper. What's the big deal?
Yeah.
Yeah, but same thing with techniques. It's like when you're in it every day like you are,
Mm-hmm.
and I am sometimes. I have other things to do too. It's like you perfect it and you figure out better
Yeah.
ways. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Also, bromeliad. It's a succulent kind of. It's
A succulent kind of.
I'm looking at the picture now. And I
Okay.
didn't know that's.
Okay. I love succulents.
And then there is a question.
Yeah.
When do you use the pan pastels?
We're going to use those at the end, which
Yes.
is completely different from what we normally do.
Mhm.
But we did it this way because we decided at the end to add more color.
Mhm.
And also I found it was much easier to get an even gradient around the flower
Mhm.
when doing it after.
And it may not be every flower you would want to do.
Yeah,
I think
no.
it's this flower specific
Mhm.
that doing it at the end works the best because you can really control it. Where if
Yeah.
you were trying to pan pastel each of these little petals, well, it would
take a long time. You'd
Mhm.
use a lot of pan pastel.
waste a lot.
And see, I've lost track of where I'm placing petals. Okay, I think it
So
goes right here now.
I finished mine and I just want to show you guys that the petal placement, there we go, does not have to be perfect by any means. That's really blown out, isn't it?
A little bit.
But here, you can kind of see here. It does not have to be perfect. In fact, it's better if it's not, because if it's too even, it looks fake.
Yeah.
So you want it to be
Yep.
slightly organic looking.
Uh-oh.
And
See,
I
look,
said-
I'm gonna brush hot glue off just with my finger.
There you go.
Doesn't bother me.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think we have calluses.
I think so. Probably. I'm in denial.
Question.
Yes.
All caps, so excitement. Will you be coming out with fall colored crepe paper?
We do have fall color crepe paper. So in my opinion, I don't know, these to me are fall. Yeah? Anyone?
Yeah.
And gold and so
Yeah, we have the gold and
Mhm. So we have brown.
copper
We even
and
have brown and some of the darker, more dustier greens.
Mhm.
I know in our heavy crepe paper we have a really pretty amber color.
Mhm. Yeah.
So yeah, yes, and they will all be in singles, so you can pick
All right.
exactly what color you want.
Cool. Now we're gonna add our sepals.
Okay.
These I would add with tacky glue.
I'm saying tacky glue on this.
They're so small. I don't think hot glue would work very well. And these, I put a number for how many to use. I think I said 8. Use as many as it takes to cover around your flower.
Right. Okay.
I think we had someone ask. I think I put 8 here, and then there were maybe 12 in the cut file, and
Okay.
I just made it even.
Right. Just a Here, you show me. I'm jumping ahead.
Yeah, you're totally fine.
Just a little bit.
Yes. All right, so I'm going to apply glue to the flower where I want it because this thing is so small I'd end up getting tacky glue all over my fingers. I'm going to put it on the flower and like a little bit on the stem, and we're actually going to try and reach it all the way down. We'll see.
It's a lot bulkier.
It is. It's bulkier than it was. That's okay. It still works.
Yeah, it works, and you can layer more if you need to.
Yeah, exactly. And so here, you know what I'll do? I'm just going to do this. Put some glue around it. Put a little on the stem. Maybe some right here.
And
There you go.
Okay.
All right, and I'm gonna kind of do what I did with the petals. I'm gonna spread them out and then just put some in between. So if you're using, I would say you need more. 8 might work. But this base is bulkier than it is with tacky glue. So realize that if you use tacky glue, you'll only need 8. If you use hot glue, you might need more than 8.
I like the idea of just use as many.
Just use as many as you need. Like if you, they're so small, you can cut out so many of them.
Yeah.
And hardly use.
And this is
any
another
crepe
really
paper.
good cutting machine bit.
Yeah, the tips of these are a little
Mhm.
spiky and give it a nice texture. They're so small though, if you breathe too hard,
This is where I want those little tiny
make them
tweezers,
Yeah.
which we're getting in our shop. We are. They're going to be in pink tweezers.
Nice.
We have a couple questions.
Yeah.
So Elaine is asking, when will your Christmas projects be posted?
Yes. Well, we have a lot of Christmas projects on our site right now. So if you go and search under Christmas, but I know August, we actually have pretty much completed all of our August projects, which are not Christmas. Then the next month we're doing
September
Halloween.
will be Halloween, and then October.
And then October, we're going to start with all new Christmas projects. But we have so many good Christmas projects, you guys. So yeah, go check in our underneath the tab Christmas and see what wonderful things you can find.
Great. And then Laura is asking, do you stretch out the sepals first?
Nope. You do not.
We said that together.
Nope. No, these are so small.
Yep.
And the tacky glue makes it, because the tacky glue is damp, it kind of just makes it form to and around the base.
And the thing too that I wanted to point out is that so on this flower, can you do an overhead real quick? So on this flower, see how it just, there's like a flat on the bottom of the flower. So
Shelf.
Shelf. So by adding these, you're actually smoothing it out. You're giving it kind of the ridge between the one to the other, so that it finishes really nicely.
Yeah, I would definitely say if you're using hot glue to make your flower, you're going to need closer to 12. And I think I cut out 24 of these for us. So.
Okay.
There is a comment here that you might like to hear. So Terry is saying, I made my first flower a peony from Leah's kit. I added Megan's tip about scrunching and twisting the edges of the petals from a previous member, making it really looks great.
Oh, I love that.
Nice.
Yeah, this is the part of being creative is mixing and matching. I know I loved that scrunched petal technique that you did
I'm trying to remember which
for the crepe paper.
flower that was. I mean, I've done it on
Share
lot.
photos,
I've done it on,
make sure.
Poppies, the big poppies.
Oh yeah, the big poppies, we did twist those. Yeah, share photos. We'd love to see those. Since I have so many, I need more glue on the bottom because I run out. Yeah, that looks great. No, I think I'm going to be okay.
So, do you want to do the overhead? So this is what it looks like when it's finished. So yeah, it just smooths out from the flower to your stem. And then we would cover the stem with our crepe paper. That's for the crepe paper. Yep. Here, I'll do it real quick. I'm at it. I actually did not add any leaves to the stems of these flowers. Oh, I don't have.
Gerber daisies don't have leaves on their stems.
Yeah, and so we did them separate, and I'll show you how to we'll make the leaves here in a bit.
There's a quick question here. So Julie is asking, I love the 3D lovebirds. Are you going to do any 3Ds for Christmas?
Well, thanks for the nudge. Yeah, I actually have a couple more 3Ds percolating in my brain. So I love those lovebirds too. Those are a classic. Do you have any suggestions of animals or little things that you would like to see 3D? I had some foxes that I was working on. They're a little more childlike looking though. They're not quite as elegant. But if you have some ideas on an animal, throw them at us. And I always love a challenge. Can I have some of that? Are you going to use it all?
Yeah, you can just take it. There we go. So we're going to go ahead and cover this. And then we get to the fun part where we get to color.
And pastel.
Yeah. All right. So we have some pan pastel colors. For this purple flower, I used a violet, which I'm going to use in the center, some orange, And I have a yellow. And then let's see what else we have. We have magenta and kind of like a lavender. This is magenta tint, but it looks kind of lavender. Pinky lavender. And we're just gonna play. I'm gonna actually curl my petals out a little bit more because mine are not coming out very far. And so I'm just gonna use my curling tool here.
Yeah, the finished
I'm gonna do
petals.
it now so that I'm not running my fingers over pan pastel.
The finished petals are really quite curled, which is lovely.
Yeah.
We are getting suggestions for 3D animals.
Yay!
Nice. I'm actually gonna take a peek at this.
Will we make sure we capture those if the comments go away after the live? Yeah.
Cool.
I'd like to read them.
All right, so for applying this pan pastel, I'm going to use paint brushes, and I've got some they're rounded tip, really soft bristles, but dense, so they're not super flimsy. And I have a few different sizes here, and I'm going to start with my, let's see, what color is this? Violet, and I'm going to apply this just in the center. If you want to, do you want me to point this towards you so you can look at it?
Sure.
Here.
Okay.
You can, yes. There you go. Here. I think with that one I did I think I used those two colors.
Yes,
on
you
that.
did.
We got some paintbrushes. And yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and take this and just start getting it in there. I actually so when I did this, I set the petals on the, you can't see this. I set the petals on the edge of a table so they were flat. I guess you can see it in here. So I would put it on the edge of the table so I had something to push against.
Right. That makes sense.
You could also use something like one of the flat painting palettes or something.
Here, you can kind of see it here, sort of not really.
Yeah.
It's just a lot.
So I'm gonna pull this over.
There we go. They can kind of see what I'm doing here.
Yeah, they can see what I'm doing.
And then I'm just rolling it. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, and I'm just adding this in here. And I kind of add a lot, and then I take a little bit of a cleaner brush, or I just clean off this one. And then I would fade it out, and I'll show you once I'll bring it up to the
I
screen.
do have a quick question. So Alice is asking, I know you're not using floral tape right now, but how do you get the residue off your fingers? It drives me crazy.
I know, right? It is a little
Warm
crazy.
water and soap.
Yeah, warm water and soap. It's a wax, so it's basically just a beeswax or some sort of, I don't know. I guess we could find out exactly what kind of wax, but just soap. Yeah, and I always try to do all my taping at once and then wash my hands before I touch the paper again.
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna take, if you want to do overhead, so I can kind of show them what this looks like. So yeah, I've kind of just added that nice blue purple to the center, and I'm gonna I kind of brush this off, the excess off of this brush. Now I'm just gonna lightly brush it out. I would say use a little more than you think you need to. You can always brush it off.
The thing that I love about these flowers is the drama. The real.
The color is just so intense.
We do have a couple other questions. So let's see here. Vicky's asking, what color pastels for white flower?
So I would say this blush is almost a white that Lee is using. And we're using a magenta, just the magenta that comes in our pan pastel set, and then a magenta tint, which I believe also comes in our pan pastel set.
I'd have to double check, but that helps blend it out.
Yeah, it helps blend it out and just add a little more.
So I started with the light, and now I'm going in with the darker and adding color.
Yeah. And also, do you have suggestions for anything to substitute for pan pastels?
For this instance, I don't really. just because, I mean, if you have some actual pastels that you can, like the chalk
Powder them.
pastels,
Mhm.
that you could maybe like color on a piece of paper and get into color. You could maybe use a paintbrush with those.
Right,
in
like
the
get
same
them
way.
powdered out a little bit. You could
Yeah.
just use regular pastels and even scrape them
Yeah.
to get the powder to.
Mhm.
And I think you can go get a set of pastels at an art supply store for relatively little money, and you could, if you're really super creative, you can even mix your colors.
Yeah. All right, so for this, I'm gonna really try and get the purple off this brush. I would recommend using maybe like a paper towel or something.
You can wash the brushes too, but
You can
just
wash
don't
them,
use it
but-
again until it's dry.
Yeah. Usually just using a paper towel works fine for me. Okay, now I'm gonna go in, let's see, I'm gonna color the tips of these, I think with the yellow. Or you could use orange. Doesn't.
Did you color all your tips? Because it looks like the
I
pink ones.
did.
You did? Okay.
Yes. Oh, did I color all the tips? I guess I didn't do
Not on the
pink-
white?
Not on the white
Okay.
ones. I didn't.
So tips are
But you
optional.
could, yeah.
I might add a little of this lighter for the tips.
Yeah.
But I already jumped in my second color, so.
Oh, just. So again, I'm using the edge of the table just to get the flat. This is also great because I'm not getting pan pastel all over my hands from touching the petals, since I'm able to just hold on to the stem.
And it's really, it's saving a lot of material of pan pastel, I feel.
Question. I don't have pen pastels. Can I use oil pastel or chalk pastels?
Chalk pastels.
Yeah, you can use the chalk pastels and scrape them like what we were just talking about. You can use the edge of, I would use like almost like an X-Acto blade to scrape and turn it into powder. And then you can use a paintbrush just as we are.
So I'm doing my own little thing over here.
Go for it.
I've actually just pulled back. So I wanted to get this pink in the center and then another layer behind the bigger petals. So I pulled back my petals like this so I can see underneath. And I'm just going in and getting the pan pastel right underneath that shorter layer. And if I need to get under a petal, you just kind of pop it up. And then I'll go back and blend in just a second. See, we all have our own techniques.
Yeah, I think
And
I
you might
also
find a
did
better
that
one.
sometimes. Like,
This is where craft and art sort of mix
it does.
and become
All right, so I've
something really
added
beautiful.
some yellow to mine, and this is like, I have not blended this at all yet, so it's very drastic. There's kind of a line, and I'm gonna, same thing, I'm gonna go in with a clean brush and just blend this, and then I might add some magenta to the centers just to get it blended even better.
So just to remind everybody who, just in case you missed the first section, we are doing a giveaway for next month. And if you want to enter the giveaway, type into the comment section what your favorite craft was when you were a child, and we'll pick the winner by the end of this live class. So if you're watching it after it's live, come join us live next time so you can enter to win.
Yeah. All right, so I finished blending this out, and I think I'm actually going to stop here with my pan pastel because it is perfect.
Yeah,
I think
it looks
it's
beautiful.
great.
It's
Like,
absolutely
it's so
beautiful.
easy. Like, that took way less time than it would have taken me if I did each individual petal.
Yeah. Yep.
So, yeah. Now I'm going to go in with some paint. So I put a couple paint colors on the materials list. I think I said a pink and then a yellow.
Mhm.
I had a couple people ask, well, I can't find this color yellow. What should I use instead? Any color yellow you can find. If you have, a lot of you may have acrylic paint sets at home or something. If you have a yellow, use that. A pink, it's not exact.
We always put exactly what we use because people love to know exactly what we use.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean you have to use it.
It
Yeah.
does not. And so I have a bright yellow, and then I have a medium pink. And I'm going to use, I think, so the medium pink I'd used inside of the orange flowers. For this one, I'm just going to use the yellow. And I'm not even gonna, oh, this is a branding one.
I just ordered a whole new set.
You did?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and take a thin tipped paintbrush, and I'm just gonna take the paint right out of here and put just a little bit on my tray, because you don't need very much at all. Yeah. And so I'm gonna go ahead and put little dots of yellow paint just on the outer edge of my stamen. So it's going to be those stamen pieces where you put the pollen.
Oh yeah, I want to.
Oh, I just remembered something before I start painting. Sorry. I'm going to backtrack like one step. Don't paint yet. I'm sorry if you already did. It's fine. You can wait for your paint to dry and then do this next. I did add some marker accents with marker for like a little bit more color. If you want some, you know, petals kind of have like the veins in them or like lines. And so I used a color that was very similar to the color paper I was using, just to add a little bit more, because the pan pastel is very flat. And then I also
chalky.
Yeah, it's chalky. These flowers also have they had like dots of color at the tip of each of their petals.
I loved that.
So I was like, wait, I don't want to do the paint yet because
I love the dots of color right on the tips.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take, let's see, this is a Very Berry. I think I also used magenta was one of the other color markers I used.
Okay.
I also have a Merlot here. Any marker that's like a similar shade to the color paper you're using is great. If you're doing the white, go for like a bright pink.
This one you used the bright pink.
I think I used this one.
Okay.
So if you want that one,
go ahead. You do it first.
So I'm just gonna dot. I'm gonna use the edge of my paper again at my table, and just literally just dotting the tip of each petal. There's kind of a little indent on the tip of each petal. And that's right where you're going to put the color.
I'm over here blending my petals.
There you go.
Oh, I like this. This is pretty.
Yeah. Okay. Look. Over here like.
Yep. Any questions?
No, but a lot of people had a lot of fun as kids, it looks like.
Oh, I can't wait to read all these answers.
I want to hear. Can you read some of them out?
Yeah, read some.
Sure. Okay. So, I mean, there's so many to choose from. I'll just choose the last one. One of my childhood crafts, craft an octopus with long yarn string crepe and glued over a styrofoam ball, then braid the legs.
I remember that one. Yeah, I remember that one.
Gail says, my favorite childhood craft was embroidering tea towels and hankies with my grandmother. She also taught me how to needlepoint.
Oh, wow. I love these vintage crafts.
Yeah, so many fun ones. Or food craft of maraschino cherry chocolate mice. So quite a few, you'll have to check them out after this, but we're still going to choose someone to get the giveaway.
My favorite craft as a child, this was my thing, is I used to make my own paper dolls. And because the purchased paper dolls only had fronts and I wanted fronts and backs back then, there were no paper dolls with fronts and backs.
Wow.
So I would make my paper dolls with fronts and backs, and then I would make the clothes have both sides. And I think that's so funny because then, how many years ago did I start making these life-size paper dolls? Paper dresses.
Right. Okay. So I've used marker to just add a little bit of detail. Did I just get? No. Okay, sorry. Just put my arm in some glue. Just to add a little veins to the flowers or a little bit more shading. Okay, there we go. So you can see that. And now I'm going to take my paint, my yellow paint, and I'm going to go ahead and dot this. However, this petal is going the wrong direction. There we go. One petal out of place. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and just dot.
Grab the lid here. Megan does not have 3 hands.
A little bit. And just there's no precise where to dot these, just kind of random.
So Megan, what was your favorite childhood?
I was just trying to think about that, and I'm having a really hard time.
Okay, well, while you're thinking about it, I want to tell you guys to please go to our Craft Academy. It's on the top menu. Go to Craft Academy and go watch the new macrame course, the mini course that Megan did. Because I'm telling you,
yes.
after watching her do all those knots, I am so ready to get into macrame. It's a really great course. So go check that out.
Yeah.
That's a fun craft that you can add to your repertoire, and it's also fun to do with kids. Or I always talk about crafts with kids for some reason, maybe because I'm a little bit of a kid at heart. But yeah, just start learning some other crafts besides flowers, but don't stop making flowers. Just saying.
All right. Oh, and my favorite craft as a kid, I was outside all the time. I wanted to live in the forest, and so I would make like forts.
Oh yeah.
In like the forest, and make like dishes and silverware and the things all for myself.
And you do
out of
pottery
things.
now. Yeah.
And yeah. And I was like, yeah, I just wanted to run away to the forest and live
I
in
think
my
you guys should
backyard.
buy a house out in the forest then.
Probably.
She's looking to buy a house right now.
All right, so I've added the yellow, and as you can see, it's just like random little dots to make it look like the night
Little
sky.
stars.
I might have actually done mine too even, but that's okay. Yeah.
That looks really pretty.
So I'm gonna go ahead and just add this to our, because that flower is done, and I'm gonna add this to the vase so it can dry. And then we're gonna finish up here by making some leaves. And the leaves are super simple. It's just how we always make our leaves. I will show them to you. So we have 2 pieces.
Oh, they're on the outer. I'm putting mine inner. Okay,
What?
I need to stay inside the lines, paint inside
Oh
the lines.
yeah, I did mine on the
On the
outer.
Okay, well,
And
I have a few
think-
on the inner.
That's okay. I mean, all right. So I've got my leaves that I already have cut, and then I always like to use the 26 gauge wire in between the leaves because it makes the leaves lay flat. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut about I'm gonna say like 4 inches. How long is this leaf? 5 inches of wire. I don't need a lot of wire at the end for these. All right, so I have the 2 leaf halves. Pay attention to the grain lines. In the SVG file, we have them like set and locked so that they will cut like this.
That's one of the tips that I give in that video is do not rotate.
Yeah, do not rotate what we have
Set up for you
set.
guys.
And now I'm gonna go ahead and just glue this wire. Can I have the tacky glue piece in between? Oh, look at this. I have a hard
fun.
bubble.
I'm going to let you make the leaf
The leaves.
today.
Well, wait, no, you gotta make one too,
Okay,
because so we can put them on a stem.
Gotcha.
I'm
I have
gonna
two.
make you make
I
one.
have 2 over here.
I also have 2.
Okay.
We really don't need to make all of them, but I would say put. Whoop. Yeah, sorry. I'm gonna put the wire down there, and then I'm gonna add a little more glue at the tip of my leaf so that glues together nicely.
One of the things I want to say about these leaves, you guys, is if you are using the double-sided crepe paper and you have one color in one half and another color on the other half, awesome, because that looks really pretty.
It does. It kind of gives them just more dimension.
Yeah. So don't feel like you need to
like
have...
when they're blowing in the wind and one side catches light, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah, makes it look.
So don't feel like you have to have the same color on both sides.
Yeah,
That's my point.
no.
Or you can, either way.
Either way,
There's
it doesn't
a
matter.
question. So this goes back to the dots on the flower.
Mhm.
Would it be easier to do the dots with the end tip of the brush?
Yeah, you could
Mhm.
totally use the end of the brush if you need something that's stiffer.
Mhm.
And then we're going to use floral tape, which I did not grab.
I have
I was
some.
only thinking,
I have
is it
floral
in this
tape.
drawer?
Yeah, it's in the drawer. Bye. There's a drawer back there. I could have grabbed it for you, Megan.
There we go. Very good. Perfect. All right. So we're going to go ahead and attach these leaves to...
Do you need more than two?
Sure. You can take one more.
I need another wire, though. Oh, here it is.
Oh, so you can like that. We're going to go ahead and attach these leaves to thick stem wire. If you're short on thick stem wires, do not use a thick stem wire for your leaves. Just use your normal 18 gauge wire.
Because thick stem wire is a little precious.
They are, yeah. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and attach this.
Sherry has a question.
Yes.
Oh, there we go. Which glue is better for the leaves on the wire, tacky or fast dry?
Quick dry. I would always go with the original or the fast grab. The quick dry is thinner.
Is it thinner?
Yeah, the quick dry is thin. It's
Okay.
like it's thinner than the original.
She's the expert on this.
I was also testing glue a couple weeks ago to see, because some of the glue, the really thin glue, like the quick dry, does change the color of some of the crepe paper.
Right.
We were finding. We had someone ask about it. And so I went and tested all the different tacky glues that we had on like our really, really dark green crepe paper, because that was the one we were finding was kind of changing color. And I'm trying to remember which glue I said.
It was
Lindsay,
the more watery glue. It was
the watery glue was better.
the thinner. No, it was worse.
It was worse. Yeah, the watery glue was worse. So you want to use
a thicker glue.
A thicker glue, so the original or the fast grab. And just use very little, especially on those really dark colors.
And then one more question. Do you Mod Podge the leaves?
I did not Mod Podge these leaves.
You can if you want to.
But yeah, you could.
Yeah, you can. I think that this is not really a Gerber daisy leaf, because Gerber daisies have leaves, but they're way at the bottom of the plant.
Yeah.
And they look similar-ish to this.
Yeah.
So this is just a pretty leaf that we thought emulated it enough. And
Yeah. We just need, you always like to have some greens in your bouquet, whether it's just filler greens or the leaf that actually is on the flower.
Having the leaf with a much more intricate cut match this flower better, because it looks more like a Gerber daisy.
Yeah. Well, I always feel like daisies, before they bloom, like their plant looks like a weed to me.
Yeah.
Like I would accidentally pull it out.
Right.
Totally. And you can use your curling tool on these to give the leaves a little more shape, make them, I always curl the edges like different directions and make them a little wild on this
like
leaf.
A weed.
Yeah, like a weed.
So pretty. This is so
there's
pretty.
our leaf. Do you want to do?
I finished my flower. Done.
Oh, here. Do you want me to show it? So
Well, if you want to. I accidentally dotted the centers, which you're not supposed to, but that's okay.
That's fine. There you go. And then that's our leaf. And we'll just add it to our bouquet.
Yeah, this is calling for some sort of an arrangement.
Wild.
Yeah, I love it. All right, so I think we're done. So we have a couple things to wrap up. First, we're going to pick a winner. So if Anna wants to pick a winner and post that up there for our thing. If anyone else has another question, right now is the time to shout out. And then, drum roll, please.
Show our flower for next
so we're
month?
not going to get confused this time because last
No, we
time
know which flower we're
was-
doing this
there were
time.
daisy,
Or
hydrangea, and then we ended up
hydrangea,
doing a different daisy.
African daisy.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's always a surprise.
It is a surprise. Sometimes we surprise ourselves.
We won't be changing
Mm-mm.
this one
Because we're done.
because it's already done. So these are the hydrangeas.
Sigh.
We've
These
been
are so
Leah has
pretty.
been asking for crepe paper hydrangeas for so long.
They have.
And I was
I know.
like, okay, I will get to it
Yes.
eventually.
Yes.
Because it's a lot of little flowers. I
Yes.
counted. There are 46 flowers on each flower.
Mm-hmm.
So
Hydrangeas are one of
time consuming.
my first frosted paper flowers that I did. In fact, I'm doing a video this afternoon that will be live next month for you guys. It won't be live, but it will be available next month. And it's frosted paper hydrangea. And I can't wait to see your technique on this because I found a new technique for my frosted paper hydrangea too.
Yeah. I don't think anything I did is revolutionary.
But it's beautiful.
Except for the coloring of them. To color them, we used the Design Master color tool sprays. And it's very similar to spray paint, but it dries much faster.
And it's so much nicer. It's better for, you can't use spray paint on.
I've never tried, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm kind of interested to try though.
Okay, we're
If
going
it
to
would
test
be
it.
similar to the, because the color tool spray is, to me, it's spray paint.
Okay.
Like, I want to try spray paint.
Okay.
Because it's cheaper.
But it does have a better color.
Yeah, they have much better colors to choose from.
I want to see if anyone's excited. Anyone excited about this? About our hydrangea next month? Yay! I love that. I know these are so pretty.
This is
Megan.
something we will post the tutorial beforehand. If you want to craft along with us for this next one, I would recommend making all of the little flowers ahead of time, and then I can show you how to add them on to make the full head.
And then how to color them, which
and
we
how to
won't
color
be
them.
spraying paint in here, but you can.
No, I won't be spraying paint in here, but I can tell you what order and how much and show you the inspiration image.
The thing I love about hydrangea is even though it's a lot of flower and it's a little complicated, it's a lot of bang for the buck. It's a lot of wow, and adding that in with other flowers, incredible. So
Nathan even said, my boyfriend even said, he was like, I'd have those in the house.
Oh,
he's like, those look real.
They do look real. They do. And if you are having a wedding and hydrangeas are out of season, because sometimes they can be so expensive when they're out of season, you can make crepe. And you can do the blue. I mean, I wanted a non-blue. So that's why we have this color palette.
Blue hydrangeas are everywhere in the Pacific Northwest.
We have them everywhere.
So I have a ton in my backyard.
Yes. But if you're doing a December wedding, not so much. All right. Do we have a winner?
We do. And Anna's already congratulated her. But we're going to put it here.
Okay. April L. Okay. Is paper mache. I love paper mache.
I also loved paper mache as a kid.
Yes. If you guys haven't seen it,
it's just fun to play with.
I keep doing this. If you haven't seen it, go watch her paper mache video.
That one was so fun. And Brittany's. She was the one that made it real.
Yeah. Brittany
come to
filmed
life.
it. And you designed it, but it's the cat head, the wildcat head, and it's bright blue, like a teal blue.
It's such a good kids project because like you can make the form for your kid and then they can add the paper mache and they can paint it. It's a really fun project. And then they can display it in their room.
It's super cute. We'll have to do more of those. All right, you guys.
And one more thing.
Yes.
There is a 25% off.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Thank you, Anne. Yes, make sure you go stock up. Right now is a great time to stock up. I know we have some sale items with our long sleeve crepe paper. Those are going to be gone. As soon as we get all of our single sleeves, those long sleeves will be gone. So go snap those up. Those are like half price or maybe even discounted more. So stock up because we are getting ready for Christmas and for fall and for Halloween. I'm going backwards there. And you guys are going to want to be crafting. So go stock up. And right now, 25% awesome. We also have 25% off our membership, but most of you are members anyway. But if you know anyone who wants to be a member, this is a great time to invite some friends to come join us for crafts. So we'll see you guys next month when we make this absolutely stunning hydrangea. I am so excited to learn how to make this.
Yeah.
So, all right. See you then. Bye-bye.
Bye.